Assalamu alaikum students, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we will discuss about empirical formula. What is the empirical formula? And first of all, we define empirical formula. Every molecule in existence is made up of the some combination of different kind of atoms in varying amount. A molecular formula is a compact way of expressing that molecule in terms of which atom it is made up of and how many of each of those atoms it contain. For example, one water molecule is made up of the one oxygen atom and two hydrogen atom. Its molecule formula is then written as H2O. The subscript on each atomic symbol express how many of that atom is contained in one molecule. If an atomic symbol has no subscript, it means there is only one of that atom present in the molecule. So this was the definition of empirical formula. What and now we discuss about the method to calculate the empirical formula. The empirical formula can be a useful tool when trying to determine the chemical composition of an unknown sample. There are various techniques as scientists can use to determine the present composition of an unknown molecule. If the present composition of the molecule is known, the empirical formula can then be determined. This information, in conjunction with a few additional procedures, can then be used by the scientist to determine the identity of the compound. Consider a sample that is found to be 40.02% carbon, 12% 34% hydrogen, and 47.64% oxygen. Since we are working with percentage, the actual mass of the sample is irrelevant. Therefore, it is extremely convenient to perform calculation. Assuming we have a sample mass of 100 gram, this allows us to convert our percentage into masses without any calculation. If carbon is 40.02% of a 100 gram sample, there must be 42.02 gram of carbon in that sample. Similarly, our sample also have 12.34 gram of hydrogen and 47.64 gram of oxygen. Okay. The empirical formula relates that amount of each atom present in the compound to each other. To proceed, we must then convert all of our masses into moles using the molar mass of atom and dimensional analysis. For carbon, we find 40.02 gram of carbon over 1 multiplied by 1 mole of carbon over 12.01 gram of carbon. The answer is coming that 3.33 mole of carbon. Following the same procedure for hydrogen and oxygen, we calculate their amount to be 12.34 mole and 2.98 mole respectively. Now, recall the empirical formula is the smallest whole number ratio of the atom present in the molecule. This means we next need to divide all of our mole amount by the smallest mole amount we found, which would be 2.98 mole for oxygen. The ratio we found is 3.33 mole over 2.98 mole is equal to 1.11 carbon. 2.98 mole over 2.98 mole is equal to 1 oxygen. 12.34 mole over 2.98 mole is equal to 4.14 hydrogen. Okay, and the empirical formula, the real definition is, and the empirical formula of a compound is the simplest whole number ratio of each type of atom in a compound. It can be calculated from information about the mass of each element in a compound or from the percentage composition. Visually, the empirical formula looks similar to the molecular formula, which gives the number of atoms in a single molecule of a compound. In fact, a compound's empirical formula can end up being the same as its molecular formula, but does not always happen. The calculation we have discussed, hope you will be understand. Next, we study that the for percentage composition, we assume the total percent of compound is equal to the 100% and the percent composition is the same in gram. For example, the total mass of a compound is 100 gram. If a compound contains 68 gram 68% carbon, 9% hydrogen and 23% oxygen, we would assume 68 gram of carbon, 9 gram of hydrogen and 23 gram of oxygen. So this was the topic. Hope you will understand. So friends, Allah Hafiz. Goodbye.